What if success in a toxic workplace was actually not about your performance? Because let's be honest, your performance won't magically improve if your manager wants to rate you badly every single second they have the opportunity to do so. So what if we needed to measure success in a toxic workplace differently, very differently to whatever we have learned before? Working with many high performers in toxic workplace situations, literally up until sea level, they all have the same pattern. They spiral over whatever's going on at work because emotionally they are attached to what's going on, which they should because they work long and hard to be where they're at right now. However, when we talk about success, navigating through a toxic workplace situation, the real success comes actually with navigating your emotions, not just in a way how to stay calm under pressure and how to stay calm replying back to an absurd thing that your toxic boss might have said, but regulating your emotions. Everybody, every single person I talk to that has a toxic workplace, especially when it's happening for the first time, has spiraling thoughts about their toxic boss. And it's normal because what's going on shouldn't happen in the first place and it doesn't make any sense and it's stupid AF. But you having those spiraling thoughts means that you cannot enjoy your full weekend, means that you spend all your time outside of work as well, or while commuting to work, driving home from work, all of those situations where you could actually relax and do something nice with yourself in your life. You're thinking about your toxic boss, what they said, what you could have said instead, all the things. So what if you moving through that and becoming stronger out of that does not mean you don't care anymore, and it doesn't mean only not showing emotions while being in a situation, but it would mean you being able to stop spiraling thoughts and stop being in an emotional state of fear, of anger, of shame in situations where it should actually be joyous. Like when you spend time with your family, when you spend time with your dog, when you do actual nice things that literally you do the work for, because you just work to earn money to then have a life. But if your life is constantly impacted by your thoughts and spiraling thoughts around your toxic boss, that is no way to live. So instead of asking ourselves, how can I always win? Why don't we shift the success metric to how fast can I feel great again, be happy about my life and proud of myself and confident in myself? And this is a good success metric because now we're talking about emotions. And after all, our goal is always to feel happy, to feel safe, to feel all of these things. So when we're spiraling about a toxic boss, we are in anger, resentment, shame, and we cannot enjoy our lives, of course, because if I'm ashamed and angry, even when I'm doing something really nice, I'm invited at a dinner party, if deep down I'm ashamed and angry, I don't enjoy it. So that cannot be the goal, right? So the goal should be, how fast can I go from the state that's been triggered by my toxic boss, like shame and anger, to actually enjoying my life again, feeling neutral about the situation, or perhaps forgetting about the situation because I don't spiral about it and be happy where I'm at, enjoying my life. Because let's be honest, you will continue to get triggered by your toxic boss because as long as you're in this environment, things will happen and it will be unfair, betrayal, all of the things. So instead of thinking, oh, either I do nothing and all my life and all my thought energy goes into this, or I do something and then I have to be successful within the second I decide to do something. What if we define success as the amount of time it takes you to go from spiraling thoughts and anger and all of these things in an emotional state that you enjoy your life again? And let's just say, up until now, you have not done any of the work. So you have spent nearly all of your weekend, or let's say all of your Sunday, thinking about work, not being a good state, even if you made some plans with family and friends. And now, because you are actually evolving and growing, this state got reduced to, I am actually not enjoying half of my Sunday, to I recognize now the emotion. This is not the emotion I want to be in. I don't want to think about my toxic boss right now. And then being able to, within an hour, navigate through these emotions to feel you're like yourself again and be able to enjoy the rest of your Sunday. What if this was the true success metric? Because let's be honest, the moment you're out of this workplace, still stuff is going to happen. So if you learn right now how to navigate through that in your thoughts, that is the moment that you can use it for anything. Because if you spiral around your toxic boss, chances are you spiral around a lot of things in general. So what if you just stopped that pattern to begin with. And as you know, as you follow me on Instagram and all of the different platforms, yes, we're talking about navigating the workplace, and I'll make a specific podcast around it. But for now, I want to make sure that the success metric is set right, because you're holding yourself to really high standards. But a standard cannot be to stop all of a sudden everything and all of a sudden you feel more confident. It's always a journey, and the journey should be to decrease the time that you spend spiraling so that you can go back to actually enjoying your freaking life. So what do we do? First, we need awareness. You need awareness around your emotional state. And while we pretend to be robots at work with no emotions whatsoever, just work machines that have like this output generation of a whole workforce just for ourselves, what if we started to check in from time to time how we're feeling? Not because we would do something about it straight away at the workplace, but to get into the habit of asking ourselves, how am I actually doing? Right? Because when we create the habit of checking in with ourselves, that means if we're spiraling in our free time, we can catch ourselves doing that. Because the weird thing with the spiraling thoughts is we very often do that for hours until we finally realize that we've been doing it. We've become so used to having those obsessive spiraling thoughts that we cannot even interrupt the pattern because we think that's normal. So first, let's create awareness around what's going on, so that also in your free time you can catch yourself early on when you start spiraling and thinking about your toxic boss again. Second, get some outside support. If you have a partner, if you have a friend that you often see, let them tell you when you make a weird face. I know that sounds off, okay, but very often when we spiral around negative stuff, we make a very weird face. We go from I just live my life to like frowning and looking in a corner and having this like empty face all of a sudden. Have somebody call you out on that, and you will be astonished how often your thoughts go into a very bad place that makes you not enjoy the present moment at all. Okay, so have somebody on your side that is really nice, that can whisper in your ear, being like, what's that face? What are you thinking about? Okay, so have somebody support you in calling you out in the spiraling and in the not enjoying the present moment, even when you're on vacation. And now let's have one or two tools to interrupt the pattern. Sometimes it can be as easy as conscious breaths. This is why for all of my clients, I really try to convince them of meditation. Why? Because you learn to stop a thought in the moment that you decide to stop the thought. Very often high performers are slaves to their thoughts and slaves to their genius mind. But that is not the goal. The goal is to be able to use that machine of your freaking genius mind whenever you want to use it, but to be able to turn that machine off whenever you just want to experience a nice moment and have fun with friends, for instance. You don't have to go at 100 miles an hour every single second of your day. And it's actually way more joyous and rewarding to not having to do so. Because if you have to do it because your mind is the master of you and not you of your mind, then you are not free, my friend. And I want you to be free. Okay, so meditation helps you to learn to be able to stop thinking when you decide to stop a thought. That's literally what you do in meditation. You sit down and you decide for the next 10 minutes, I'll try to not think. And it's not easy. It is not easy, but the more you do it, it's like a muscle you build, the more used to get to it. So if you have that practice in place already, you can use it in those moments when you have the awareness, you have perhaps a friend even support you. And now you're in a situation and you're like, damn, this person is right. I was spiraling about my toxic boss while eating ice cream on a Sunday afternoon. That is stupid. So I decided to stop. If you're really good, you can literally decide to stop. If you're not so good yet, that's totally normal. I'm not perfect either, believe me. But now you have tools. Okay, so now do box breathing. Now do alternate nostril breathing, or whatever it is that works for you to calm your nervous system. Touch grass, take off your shoes and walk barefoot and feel the sensations. Go pet your dog and feel the sensation. Like really immerse yourself into it so that you, with your full system, you are there in the present moment so that you fully interrupt that pattern. And then ask yourself, what do you need right now to stay in that mode? Sometimes it's even okay to say, okay, for 30 minutes, I'm gonna tell ChatGPT, or I'm gonna go into my notes app and I'm gonna write down all the things that I need to do tomorrow so that you can stop thinking about it without being like constantly in the back of your mind being like, don't forget about it, don't forget about this. If you had like a great idea, or if something came up, you're like, don't forget about it. That's annoying. So let's instead rather take 10 minutes and write down in your notes app everything that you're gonna do Monday morning, and then you can close it and you won't forget about it. So this little voice can shut up, okay? And now you go back to enjoying. Now, yes, of course, I know there's way more things that you can do, but this is a short podcast episode. And I just want to give you a glimpse into my work that I'm doing with the high performers that I'm working with. And this is how you can also understand how the work that we're doing inside Corporate Warriors, it's not just about navigating one toxic boss, but learning to navigate yourself through any kind of challenge without it affecting your self-worth, without it affecting your self-confidence, without spiraling all the time. Because you being a high performer is great, but it can be used against you if you're not setting yourself up for success. So if you're ready to do this and you're ready to use your high performer self for your life to create an amazing life of yours, then make sure you subscribe to that channel. Make sure to give me a good rating. I would truly appreciate it. And in return, I have linked a few resources down below. Start with my masterclass on Udemy. It's super affordable and you'll understand how working through emotion can bring so much relief for you and make you feel good about yourself so that you understand how important this work is. And if you're ready for more, click the link even down below or send me a message on Instagram and I'll gladly invite you into my group of high performers that navigate through and out of toxic workplaces together. I am rooting for you. Make sure to like this episode and I'm gonna see you back in the next one. Bye.
Let the truth echo loud. Let it sing through your soul. You're here to build a life, not just survive the grind. Step out from the shadows, release what holds you behind. This toxic boss, a reminder cruel but divine. A mirror reflecting what's been lost and what you can find. You're more than the labels, you're more than the doubt. You're here to flourish, to laugh, to shout. So let the walls fall down, let the past just be a blessing in disguise, birthing possibilities. Oh, you were never meant to shrink, you're meant to soar. Rise up, claim the life you adore. There's more that matters, oh so much more. You can rise in your career and still keep your core. Oh, we walk through the triggers, yes we carry the grief, but together we'll find joy, we'll discover relief. Into a career, into a life that you earned. Feel the fire inside and let the passion return. Remember why you're here, remember your worth. You are worthy, you are enough since your birth. Love yourself first, let the love flow through, and watch as the world rearranges for you. You are not meant to shrink, you're meant to soar. Rise up, claim the life you adore. There's more that matters, oh so much more. You can rise in your career and still keep your core. You don't have to walk this road alone, my friend. Let's do this together. Let this journey transcend. I love you. I believe in your light. Together we'll rise into the beautiful night.